My name's Duke Nukem. My entire game is a #1, baby.
Remember the good old days of Duke Nukem? Okay, maybe not that far back, but Duke Nukem 3D, that was the good stuff. Sure, we could discuss the character and try to claim he never was good to begin with or anything, blah blah blah, but that's not my point. Besides, I thought Duke was the shit back in the 90s. I saw fit lately to replay the game under this version of the game in order to stay polite because, well...
Yeah, piece of cake.
Don't look at me, I just wanted all its achievements. They were easy enough. But I replayed the whole game afterwards in Duke 32 as a palate cleanser, and since I've been playing a whole bunch of this game that I like, let's rank and review its levels. For many, this was their first exposure to the build engine, and it's about time we see what skill designers were able to do with it. Each level will get a score out of 10 for level design and difficulty. Before you ask, 8 is not a failing grade. There will not be a thing like a failing grade into this video. All the scores mean how the levels fare when compared against the other levels of the game. Difficulty rankings will mostly be relative to how I perceive levels to be and compared to other levels in the game as well. Even though I consider most of this game to be easy, the difficulty ratings won't just be super low all the way. It wouldn't be fun. And of course, level quality is an entirely subjective rating, and we might disagree over some of these. So, how are we gonna play the game now? We're playing on Duke 32, we're gonna use the classic renderer, auto-aim with its can only, we're gonna play only the PC levels, we're not gonna review the console-only levels, like this toilet level from the Saturn version? Like, what is this? That's 1 out of 10 anyway. We're gonna play on Come Get Some difficulty, saves are allowed, and finally, we're gonna have to pistol start at the beginning of every level, just like in Doom. I actually never pistol started this game before, so this should be fun. Now, let's rank some Duke.
Damn, those alien bastards are gonna pay for shooting up my ride.
E1L1, Hollywood Holocaust. Part of me always liked how this game started. You eject from your ship on top of a skyscraper, blow shit up, fall down said skyscraper, and without batting an eye, you immediately shoot aliens to death. Jump up to the hidden RPG, and soon enough, you realize you can jump through windows, or fake walls in that instance. There'll be plenty of these. The ability to jump immediately opens up your gameplay options on the vertical axis, as opposed to something simpler like Doom. You could cheat the entire level with steroids, jumping across the street to another building, then carefully tiptoeing up to the self-destruction button. Or just enjoy the sights, there's plenty to do here. Like for instance, watching yourself through the mirror. You can choose to enter the CD cinema from the back door or blow up a wall near the main entrance, where resistance is lesser. On the higher difficulty, pickups will be the biggest obstacle you'll face inside, so erase them with the RPG or the shotguns they often drop. Otherwise, pistol everything in the theater, in the bathroom, and wherever else. Don't kill that trap babe, even though they want you to. Gratuitous violence will spawn more enemies. Instead, catch them off guard in the projection room so you can have a taste of the cinema's action. A well-placed rocket will open a back room, leading to more shotgun ammo and a jetpack, which allows you to break every level hilariously by giving you free movement on the Y-axis. But just because it's level 1 doesn't mean all secrets must be a freebie. You likely won't know the existence of that elevator near that armor secret, or that apartment secret you must fly through, giving you every episode 1 weapon for continuous player. But as a level, Hollywood Holocaust has a lot to offer early on. Alternate paths, mostly well-crafted secrets, earthquakes, lots of explosions, and video games aplenty in the explosive arcade. Not to mention Lee Jackson's tune, which is almost as iconic to Duke Nukem than Crab Bag itself. All that matters is that this is an impressive opening statement. Rating 9. Difficulty 2. E1L2. Red Light District. This is no secret, Duke Nukem's world is seedy. We go from porno theater to porno bookstore and a strip club. And if that ain't your thing, you also get to demolish a whole building. You might want to give the street a wide berth, unless pistoling pickups is your idea of fun. So head for the bookstore first, which was censored in Duke Nukem 64 and became a gun store? America never changes. Rotate the bookshelf aside for your first pipe bombs, which are always handy for groups of land enemies. They deal less damage than the RPG but have a wider explosion. Dry your hands in the bathroom if you want night vision goggles. They're bad for getting your bearings, but at least you get to see monsters well in the dark. And then you get... oh boy, the combination switches puzzles. They are everywhere throughout the game, and I hate them. You must blindly find out which switches must be on and which ones must be off. It's not too bad when there are only 3 switches, but 4 or more of these switches will slow the game to a crawl unless you already know the answer, in which case it's just a needless procedure. The basic layout of this map is not too dissimilar to E1L1, but where Duke 3D shines is in its ability to depict realistic places with good texture usage and have them look and feel unique. It's also amusing that the aliens took the time to write a message to you and have it shown on the street. That's invasion time well spent. The combat in the bookstore feels a little boring, but things do pick up in the strip club with some mean ambushes. But before, head to the elusive toilets to sewers secret passage for many goodies. The strip club itself looks like a flashy garage and further sells this idea of filthy, raunchy helle. Beginners to Duke 3D might be foiled by the mandatory vent exploration for progress, which the game considers a secret. Sadly, the level kinda petters out at the end with an uninspired looking attic section with ambushing pickups, but the surprise ending does make the level stick the landing well at least. Are the aliens going to fry your ass? Rating 8, difficulty 4. E1L3, Death Row. Your ass is safe from the frying because the aliens didn't see the use in tying you to your electric chair. You must sneak behind this pickup to steal the pistol or kick him to death first. Neither option is great. Nearing the controls will spawn another pickup at the death row's inner gate while playing the sound of said gate opening, which is a great touch. Don't pistol him. Push the left button to lower the electric chair and get a hidden shotgun to get a better fighting chance, and press the right button to open the curtain for the peanut gallery. Go pray for the Battle Lord in the church, spot the rise of the Triad and Doom Easter eggs, and start breaking out of this high security jail. This level features the first hidden messages in the dark, so go get night vision goggles and start activating them in pitch black areas. This level somehow feels much more open, and its progression sells the concept of a jailbreak in some techno prison. Enter the laser tripwires, annoying to wade through and never satisfying when it comes the time to use them against enemies. When you get the second keycard, either run quick or crouch under all these new lasers around. The courtyard feels daunting, but pistol auto-aim will make short work of all these laser turrets around. Plus, you get 150 health worth of atomic health inside this fake wall. After you gain access to the cell blocks, get the RPG in one of the cells, wonder how they snuck that inside. Then do as the message in the dark said, go behind the babe. Man, I sound manly when I say babe. And finish digging the tunnel using explosives. Your mean of transportation out of jail will appear a submarine! Continuous player will want to ignore the sub for now and get the scuba gear by the closed gate and these way too well hidden night vision goggles. Death Row is one of the quirkiest levels in the game and a fun adventure to go to and back to. Rating 8, difficulty 5. E1L4, Toxic Dump. Welcome to the first of Duke Nukem 3D's water levels. After solving the switch puzzle inside the flooding sub, go down the seafloor to get some scuba gear, which will render your water adventures safe and relaxing. It provides air for over 4 minutes, which will be plenty for any water section in the game. Harms-wise, this is the trickiest pistol start yet. The opening area is sparse yet full of lizard troopers and laser turrets. You'll need the help of a few secrets to turn the tide around. Climb up the ridge and get the RPG and access card immediately, you'll need it to get started. You'll also want these secret rockets over here and jump on top of the submarine to unlock goodies inside. Underwater, there are tons of octobrains. They are sturdier than anything else and have a highly damaging psychic blast, but it has limited range and usually terrible aim. RPG rockets will insta-kill them, but ammo is very sparse. Save a rocket for this destructible wall and stock up on pipe bombs in the secret. Once inside this facility, you'll want this wall-humping secret for the chain gun. This level has a lot of things to do in it, like getting hoisted by cranes, shrunk and exploring tiny passages, and this tricky swim through the gear. If you look at the map, you'll see these gears are missing a dent. This level demonstrates the interactivity of Duke 3D's world well, but it doesn't seem like a cohesive whole, unlike the rest of Episode 1. It's pretty disjointed and perhaps a bit too long. Did we really need this wacky section where you ride these moving platforms? Hint, if you want more RPG ammo, trigger the platforms, then do a daring dive behind the wall to find a hidden vent before you get squished. The end is a sewer tunnel full of octobrains, so go crazy with explosives there. But save a rocket for the crack on the left wall, which leads to a bonus level. In the end, this is the longest, but also the weakest map of the episode. Its beginning feels a bit too unforgiving, and once you get a foothold, the combat becomes very autopilot-like. Rating 6, difficulty 5. E1L6, Launch Facility. Despite being a secret map, Launch Facility does not feel out of place with the rest of Episode 1. It's business as usual. There's a lot of lizards to pistol, and the early shotgun in the slime pool is easily missable. Most of the early level lacks a bit of detail and you get the most devious switch combination puzzle yet. 4 switches! The secrets in this map can be devious. Once you turn off force field number 1, backtrack in the slime pool to find out that a tunnel opened up for health and shotgun ammo. In the big room with the lights and atomic health, there's a vent you can fly up with the jetpack you find near the rocket teleporter. A random wall with no hint telling it's a secret, and these monitors near the end. The level picks up once you get that big rocket ready to launch, only to find out it launches the wrong way. This might be one of the sparser levels of the episode detail-wise, but it compensates combat-wise by throwing lots of minions at you at once, resulting in some fun combat. Also, that rocket sequence is very good looking. While the secrets are kinda annoying, there are more quality of life additions to your arsenal than necessary. I like this map. Rating 8, difficulty 4. E1L5, The Abyss. For pistol starters, let me say this. This laser turret at the start is the worst thing. No matter how hard you try, auto-aim just won't hit this thing. Things get better though, but make sure you get these early boots. There's toxic slime everywhere. Combat is mostly on the meek side here, but you're not here for the battles. You're here to finally get an idea of what you're going against. The Abyss is where the Battlelord stationed himself on Earth in this network of mountains, cliffs, and caves. There's a constant ominous feeling that gets thicker and thicker the more you progress through the level. The party starts once you get to the San Andreas fault line sign, which timely triggers an earthquake that sinks the entire cliff sides and gives way to this dark cave network, where unknown chanting can be heard. You peep inside cracks in the wall to see this lava-soaked, red-tinted cavern where this disturbing drone noise can be slightly perceived. Is all this the work of aliens? This is a level where exploration and adventure is its own reward. A lot of different paths exist in this level and they all lead to something. Whether it's ammo, weapons, or items. Brave the circle of fire to get teleported inside a separate cave for some RPG ammo and atomic health. After going through some shrinker adventures, you finally get to the depths of the cavern. With a jetpack, you can find some amusing messages here and there if you know where to look. Before going for the breach in the wall, climb to the top of the lava fall for a duo of secret. A crack in the wall, and a handprint opening a tunnel to the hottest person in the whole game. Get it? Health is abundant on the way to the spaceship, but if you waste too much of it somehow, investigate the walls near the ship's entrance for yet another atomic health. Once inside, everything becomes gooey, disgusting, and the door mechanism themselves are out of this world. Don't worry if you can't grab the RPG and chain gun on the way down. Circle the room to open some secret compartments with ammo inside and make ledges you can jump onto to reach the weapons from below. When you're ready, open the door to face the Battlelord, who puts on quite an intro. Empty your RPG onto him and use the incline in the middle of the room as cover from his chain gun attack. It is very dangerous and can kill you in a split second when too close. While fighting could be better in general in the Abyss, that boss is a very strong final statement and helps to make the Abyss the most memorable stop in episode 1. Rating 9. Difficulty 4. E1L7. Faces of Death. This level is not reachable through normal means unless you've been playing the World Tour version of the game. You'd have to reach the Battlelord in the Abyss and investigate a newly added secret room in his lair that will lead here. Otherwise, you must use cheats or command line parameters to get here. It's a Duke match level hastily refurbished into a single player level. It's a circular alien spaceship with the faces of the developers hidden away in teleporter chambers, while the main grounds of the ship are inhabited by 6 lesser Battlelords. Don't let their size fool you, they deal as much damage than the real thing. Your only real hope to fight them off is with the Shrinker. A single blast on their feet area will make them tiny and crushable. Once you get the blue key, find Todd's face to locate the blue access card slot, which opens up the upper level of the map, and after navigating the tripwire laser hell here, push all switches in the level to free up one final Battlelord and the exit if you're playing World Tour. But in my words, you don't have to do so. Plus you'd have to replay all of the Abyss, which is a long level. All in all, you don't have to play this map to get a great experience out of this game, and since it was not part of the level rotation initially, it doesn't get a rating. E2L1, Spaceport. I don't know why that ship is shooting rockets at you, but I always kind of found that neat. Okay, this is less neat. That's a murder attempt! Go back to your ship to get steroids, a RPG, and a distress signal on the TV screen. You may not need the RPG for the lizard troopers, but the enforcers will make sure you don't forget it. They're everywhere in this episode and will make you feel nostalgic for Pig Cups to return. They'll be on hiatus for all of episode 2. Enforcers are very difficult to defeat without taking damage unless you have strategic cover or keep your distances. One thing is sure, these levels look way more intricate and complex than episode 1. We're no longer dealing with the premise of exploring places that could exist for real, so the designers and players can make use of their imagination to the fullest. This episode also makes a much bigger use of spawned-in monsters, which do limit the impact of difficulty levels. Spawn monsters appear on every difficulty level, so these ambushes never change no matter what difficulty you play. This elevator has more than explosives, it contains an enforcer ambush, and flying up there with a jetpack will get you the Devastator weapon, which makes short work of everything, but ammo for it is rare. The negatives of this level now? It features the first sentry drone in the game. I don't think this monster could have been introduced in a worse way. Also, the final secret area is high rolling. Land on this platform with the atomic elf, then quickly shove off to the bottom floor for a way out there time secret which gives chain gun ammo? Give me a break. Not as memorable a level as Hollywood Holocaust, and the enforcers are definitely an acquired taste, but it's a space efficient intro level. It still looks pretty high-tech for a 1996 level, and you'll come to miss it when deeper in the episode. Rating 7, difficulty 4. E2L2, Incubator. Now it's time to properly know the drones. They're everywhere in this map, but their placements are nowhere near as cruel. For the most part, to hell with the sentry drone closets, they're totally unfun. Anyway, you can stand next to closed door to lure drones into self-destructing without them opening the doors. Fact that I sadly learned after playing the whole game. You'll round out the rest of your arsenal with a freeze thrower, which is pretty decent and cool. And the laser tripwire, which is not. Tripwires always feel awesome against you, but when it comes to using them against monsters, you'll feel like you never kill anything with them. Plus, you can only carry 10 of them. Every secret is early on in this level, such as this EDF logo fake wall and the freeze thrower closet in the dark flickering room. Get the chain gun and atomic health at the expense of an ambush of lizards, drones, and enforcers. You also get introduced to the protozoid Slimer and their eggs, which exist. They can instantly eat other monsters if they touch them, but if introduced to your face, they feel like a breeze and are a mere nuisance. Also, fun fact, the aliens believe in Jesus. The final room with said incubator does good in looking ominous, but it's just a chore to weed out the eggs and Slimers, and it barely feels used in a fun way. At least you can withstand firsthand the wonders of the Devastator against Octobraids. Boom. Anyway, this map is alright. Rating 6, difficulty 3. E2L3, Warp Factor. This level will forever settle the opinion of any Duke Nukem 3D player about the sentry drones. In this level, they are the very worst. On a pistol start, you must fend off a batch of them with no good weapons, no doors to hide behind, and with the worst possible placements. Your reward for surviving the beginning? Another closet full of these jerks! And then this elevator descends you into broken machinery hell against your own will, but at least there's only a few lizard troopers down here. And a blue card. This laser tripwire walls seem intimidating, but the shotgun ammo is playing peekaboo inside the console. Activate it to lift it back up, and then check the wall behind for a secret non-secret shrinker. On Come Get Some, this level introduces the Assault Commander, but his first appearance is pretty meh. They'll make a better entrance next level. The first highlight of this level is the trip through outer space in the tram. The view you get from the entire level from outside is pretty sweet. Once you get the keycard and the atomic health in the opposite wing of the level, consider whether you want the RPG or not, because picking it up will spawn 10 enemies around the whole map, including the first lesser battle lord of the game, assuming you never visited Faces of Death. I won't blame you! Thankfully, he's not shrinker immune, so you know what to do. Once you get to the bridge, the sights as you open the windows, revealing the hurt and lighting everything up is the best part of the map. Too bad all this space is wasted on drones and turrets. But at least there is the Star Trek secret to make everything better. waste these wannabe Klingons invading you, and get your 2 secrets here. The other one is rather wonky and you must step on this counter to make it register. This level has an intricate amount of detail and I like the general progression, but the drones alone almost ruin it. Almost. Rating 6, difficulty 5. E2L4, Fusion Station. Everything about this level is really off-putting and weird, which I guess is the point of this episode. Hiding a shotgun behind a cocoon woman is really mean. Unless you can somehow walk through her. Thank you, build engine. Anyway, everything about this place looks strange and alien, more so than any map in the game. Whether it's the green flesh wall, that overly tall central hub with precarious walkways and lava, or whatever machinery you get to see throughout the whole level. The first hurdle of this level is the machinery room with the crushers, where you must jump inside to shoot a switch activating the elevator, or find this alternate secret and get to the bottom up close, or crawl through here. I don't care what you do. Future trips in the central room require you to shoot switches, which is less than practical, especially when the game loves to spawn drones inside said room. It might seem like a chore to kill them, but do it anyway. And now for yet another cruel dilemma. Do you dare kill a prisoner for this atomic health? Haha, I don't need to! In your face, game! Goddamn. Take your time in the tiny hallways. This level loves to spawn enforcers behind your back once you think you've cleared everything up. Once you blow up the reactor, an assault commander will blow up the elevator walls to get at you. Now that's a stylish intro. The leap of faith will net you the jetpack necessary to reach the end, which is a mini gauntlet of many assault commanders and, eggs. Excellent. It's good to see a level that for once matches memorable visuals with fun and tricky combat, making it the first memorable map in the episode. Rating 8, difficulty 6. E2L5, Occupied Territory. I gotta say, when I decided to pistol start the whole game, this was a map I was dreading a lot. And I was right. This level is quite the gut punch, and even for seasoned veterans, it has a few sections that'll make you go, what? Don't forget this chain gun at the beginning. It's hidden in your back at the start of the map and easy to miss. Looking at this room full of battle lords through the security system is very chilling and foreboding. This gives the player a dramatic event to look forward to. Worthwhile secrets involve this atomic elf hidden in the door, this easily accessible vent with a RPG that you'll definitely need, and this sentry drone closet you can jump into with a jetpack, or steroids if you're pistol starting. These 5 rockets are a divine intervention for pistol starters. The main hub area, dispatch all the drones, enforcers, and lizards, then go into the green technological hell. Oh, and thanks for the shrinker ammo that I can use. There's no shrinker in this map. That will be too easy. The assault commanders nearby are wisely stationed near explosive canisters, so use them to your advantage. Try to avoid using the RPG if possible. Armed with a Devastator and an RPG, it's now time to take on the 3 lesser battle lords. It's also easier than you'd think to mess with the RPG because hitboxes in this game can be strange. I was out of explosive by the time 2 battle lords died, and you sure can't stand toe-to-toe with them. Unless the left half of the sprite is blocked by a wall, then you can slow roll these guys with anything. Celebrate your victory by getting these laser tripwires behind the console. Yippee! The final room. Waste a few enforcers, raise the bridge, press the switch, and... Motherfucker! 2 more of these? Really? Thanks for at least giving me 5 rockets for the occasion, I guess. Once you're done with this nightmare, look up to the ceiling to find the switch to shoot, and get to secret level 1. I don't like this level. The decorating work is a little workmanlike for my liking, and starting it with nothing is a brutal experience I don't recommend. Rating 5, difficulty 9. E2L10, Spin Cycle. While Episode 1's secret level was definitely designed as a single-player map, Episodes 2 were made with Duke Match in mind, with light refurbishments to make it play better. The map is a giant circle with a conveyor belt spinning you around the circle, with 4 hubs with weapon and ammo, each with a switch you must press to unlock progress, and spawn lots of drones, lizards, and commanders everywhere. Sometimes this level can be fun when you're just spinning around in a circle, mowing down herds of flying lizards, but when drones get involved, it's not as fun. This is also where you start noticing that the Shrinker is not super reliable with commanders, or maybe it works better with auto-aim on, who knows. The 2 lesser Battle Lords spawning in the air on top of you as you enter the central exit room is a middle finger that ends a questionable level on an even more sour note. Rating 3, difficulty 7. E2L6, Tiberius Station. I kinda wish they did the Star Trek reference in this level instead, because this level has nothing to do with Star Trek otherwise. It's good though, it's got pretty diversified architecture, lot to see and do, and doesn't try any underhanded tactics. Except for this laser trap. Heck, the mirror in the hallways even warn you there's a drone squadron headed your way. How kind! If you want supplies, hit these side switches and race to the other side of the room before the door closes. And get the secret medkit in the supplies room. Considering how tense occupied territory was, the mood here is so much more relaxed. It's interesting to note the vent system in the base opens up as you progress throughout the map, even lets you skip the red keycard because you can enter this room through a nearby vent. You might as well want to skip it, these jerks decided to stash the keycard away in a lake of radioactive slime. Once the bridge is in place, check both ends of the room where the platforms were for a pair of secrets. That vent where the light is blinking aggressively conceals a time secret near the red keycard door. Make sure you blow up the wall nearby to make the race for the RPG possible. Also, it has a jetpack. Getting close to the red door will spawn a lesser Battle Lord inside, but if you access the room through the vent, he will never appear. And even if he appears, just shrink him. Once inside, blow the floor apart to get to a vent nearing to the exit. This map is nice looking, relaxing, and pretty friendly in general. It's not super memorable, but it's inoffensive. Rating 7, difficulty 3. E2L7, Lunar Reactor. Episode 2 was a little of a slow roll, but we're finally reaching a climax with Lunar Reactor. This level is a little bit of everything, offer lots of fighting per square feet, enough explosions to power the next Hollywood movie, and a Star Wars reference, provided you don't get cold feet and want to learn how to fly with no jetpack or parachute. It also nets you a very valuable shrinker. The beginning of the level requires good ammo conservation and the willingness to crawl in ducts for supplies. You'll be feeling the squeeze until the lesser Battle Lord behind the blue key door is finally dead. Things will get a little easier after, says he after dearly fighting for his life with 16 HP left. Nothing is a pushover in this level, and some secrets can be mean, such as this openable wall behind the crushing platforms. Before crawling in this highly unstable vent where you can be shut out from by lizard troopers, go back and nuke them, then stand on top of the vent for more supplies. Before braving the gears and the slime, go to the red key door and don some boots. After hugging the walls and gears to get to the red key, you can finally go back to the main base and a bunch of commanders. By now, you have so much supplies that you can take them out however you see fit, but save 2 shrinker shots for the lesser Battle Lords after the yellow door. The Lunar Reactor itself is a side, and as a bonus, you get to blow it up. The room after is a mean asshole with explosions. Just rush forward and shrink the 2 commanders while hugging the exit door to ensure you don't blow up. Episode 2 is definitely more laid back in nature, but this level manages to match Episode 1's raw energy in the sci-fi setting. Rating 8, difficulty 7. E2L8, Dark Side. Welcome to the dark side of the moon. While Lunar Reactor was the explosion of a bomb, Dark Side is the unraveling fuse of said bomb in the process of exploding. I know that's the wrong order to do things, but this level's tension is so thick it can be cut with a knife. It's also a massive undertaking with lots of grounds to cover. On the bad side of things, that means there's also plenty of backtracking to do in this map, but there's always something to shoot, so it's not like going backwards in this map is boring. This map depicts a transit station on the moon, and you must ride all of its tram lines. This map has all sorts of packing encounters, but also plenty of silent ones too, which feeds from yet another all-star Lee Jackson song, Plasma. Not every moment is successful. In this room, no one in their right mind will ever go, "Oh no! Look at all these protozoid slimers!" But I still appreciate the attempt at horror. While levels like Toxic Dump feel like they are too long and pack too much, you don't get a sense of filler here. Every portion of the map has a point and purpose, and you feel like this level is building up towards something big. On pistol starts, it also helps giving a starring role to lesser weapons of your arsenal, like the freeze thrower, and this early Devastator secret will pay dividends when you get to this living quarter area. The level comes to a head when you're walking on the surface of the moon. Yeah, no need for a spacesuit or hair canisters, all you need is your sweet personality and your steroids-built physique, baby. But then, the mother of all sentry drone encounters. 9 of them will come out of this structure like a holy rat. At least it's not a closet. After dispatching the Moon Battle Lord, the payoff is this creepy Space Odyssey homage where jumping into the monolith will lead to the innards of the alien base on the moon. What have you done, you maniacs? Time to use whatever Devastator ammo you have left to vanquish this Octobrain army and blow up this wall near the place you teleport to in order to open the way to secret level number 2. This feels like the ideal episode closer. It's full of intrigue, the fights have bite to them, and it's another grand adventure for Duke Nukem. But sadly, it's not the episode closer. Still, this is another greatly memorable Duke map that should be treasured. Rating 9, difficulty 6. E2 Hell 11, Lunatic Fringe. Another refurbished Duke match level. This one is definitely way more interesting. It still doesn't work as a single player map, but the concept behind it is definitely out there and one of the best showcases of room over room in the early build engine. The entire level is a circle until you perform a full turn around it and realize you're not back to where you started. It's a 720-degree circle with some small bays inside it. Concept is exactly the same as Spin Cycle, but less wacky and more interesting with its non-Euclidean application. Shoot all 4 switches to open the center and mind the many lesser battle lords inside. They will ruin your day. Look for a switch in the center to activate a shrinker beam that allows you to crawl in the tiny hole leading to the exit. Gameplay is clearly an afterthought, but at least this level is interesting, unlike Spin Cycle. Rating 5, difficulty 7. E2 Hell 9, Overlord. Oh, Overlord, Darkseid did a great job building up to you, and yet you have so very little to offer. What a pity. If you play the game continuously, you could jump in the vent inside the first room and instantly reach the end of the level. But for pistol starter, you'll want some weapons first. First, you must solve a combination switch puzzle to get a freeze thrower, and by proxy a secret RPG that becomes accessible for a short time when jumping on the freeze thrower platform. The lesser battle lord inside the second room is the biggest danger of the level. Make sure you don't miss with the secret RPG, otherwise you must freeze him to death. The rest of the level is just a featureless egg hatchery full of captive women. You know, just like the end of Darkseid. Once you hit that switch in the hatchery, you make one of the paths to the boss accessible. You might want to stop by this room first to get an armor refill and the satisfaction of nuking all these useless lizard troopers. Drop all the way down when ready. This room is either incredibly satisfying or not. Sometimes the explosives all go off in a sequence and everything goes boom, but there have been times where I had to shoot every explosive canister myself, and I have no clue why. duck in the water passage for a free Devastator and open the door to reveal the Overlord. No flashy intro for this one, just a quick one-liner about shitting down his neck. One final secret for the road: enter the Overlord's room to open a secret alcove in the circular chamber with health and explosive. This boss is sad. With the Devastator, you can lock him down and he'll never be able to attack. Otherwise, he rapid fires missiles, but they're not too hard to dodge. And so episode 2 timidly peters out of existence. Next stop, home. Rating 4, difficulty 4. E3L1, raw meat. Duke's back to town, and the aliens sure have a welcoming committee waiting for you. The beginning of this level will test your ammo preservation and fighting skills. Don't waste any of these 15 Devastator rockets. The pipe bombs underwater and beside this wall are a godsend, especially for this annoying turret. We're picking things up back to where episode 1 left off. We're back to basic depictions of places that could exist for real, although these glass mannequins showing their boobs are unsettling to say the least. And so is this room in the mini-mall. Episode 3 sadly makes it an habit to place helpless women near eggs and explosives. At least, you get to hear Duke sing hold hits like a drunk uncle.
Born to be wild.
And now, here he is again, on the 20th anniversary edition.
Born to be wild.
Make sure you show off your perverted side for a free shrinker, place your hand on this handprint for a free thrower, and push this "push me" sign in the closet, which might be one of the most elusive secrets in the game. Some will be happy to be fighting enemies other than enforcers, so the return of big cops will be a welcome sight for many. For people who miss the more realistic nature of the game, this level will be a breath of fresh air. It might be the least memorable of the episode openers in the game, but it doesn't make it less good. If anything, it has the best action scenes out of the lot. Rating 8, difficulty 6. E3L2, Bankroll. Oh boy, out of all the hurt maps, this might be the wackiest one yet. It actually goes off to a terrific start, with all the set dressing out in the streets while blasting away aliens to the sound of one of Bobby Prince's most memorable track, Going After the Fat Commander. The amount of detail out in the street is eye-catching, with a nice bank entrance, the ATMs in the corner, and this garage full of big cops. Once you get the keycard, the nearby frame picture opens up to reveal a Devastator. Once you get inside, you still won't be saying anything too out of the ordinary. It still looks like a bank to me. The tripwire trap is a little excessive, but hey, they want to keep their money safe. I don't see anything wrong with that. Once you enter the vault area, things become really weird. They have the worst security system in the world where you just flip every switch in order to enter whatever the hell that is. How is this supposed to make the bank work? Why is the floor electrified? Why does everything spin when you jump on the platforms? Make sure you get the atomic health in the wall crack near the Delta platform before opening up the vault. There is no money stored here, only pain and suffering. It's tempting to blow everything up, but all these barrels won't do enough damage to the lesser battle lords. Besides, there's a shrinker behind this switch in order to make the fight easy without needs for loans or interest rates. Hold on, there's still a few enemies around. Perfect, now we can leave. Action-wise, I like this level, but I still fail to understand how in the world this building is a bank enough to suspend my disbelief. Rating 7, difficulty 5. E3L3, Flood Zone. Welcome to water level number 2. While Toxic Dumps seem a little disconnected as a level, Flood Zone does a much better job forming a coherent whole. This part of town got swallowed by the sea, so I hope you don't forget that scuba gear behind you at the start. Afterward, blow up this part of the wall with the seaweed to get access to a secret Devastator, then venture in the nearest flooded building for a shotgun. The sea in this level is infested by sharks, which are a throwaway enemy that is just in the way. Devastator is great in this level for dealing with its herd of octobrains and eggs. The undersea action is really tame, but once you get out of the water, things heat up greatly. Space is rather limited, but the enemy density and power levels are not limited. This includes 2 lesser battle lords. One of them will kill his assault commanders with his minigun, the other one will let himself almost be bullied by his troop off the entire building. Once you surface near the blue key area, don't go all the way up because you'll spring up part 1 of a massive ambush you aren't ready yet to tackle. Jump up near where you first find this card through the secret fake wall to find nothing. Eh? Once you get the yellow key, you get rooftop access. Check behind this atomic hell for a jetpack, giving you free access to the entire map. Don't miss the shrinker on the edge of the building, it's useful to solve the battle lords. When the surface level has been cleaned out, dive deeper in the building and kill the octobrains with whatever works for you. Deep in the darkness, you'll find a switch that raises the strip club sign to the other key you need. Afterward, the level kinda just ends. You're in a box warehouse, and if you got banged up, press the hard at area sign for more health inside the boxes. Fall down the sewer hole to your apparent death and... Okay, go away to it. This level is brought down by its team. The whole underwater section feels mostly disposable because nothing of great value happens there. I still like this level better than Toxic Dump because at least it has a lot going for it. Rating 7, difficulty 6. E3L4, Heli Rumble. Unlike Los Angeles, this is a pretty tiny map. The rumble part of the title is definitely true. It packs a lot of enemies despite its small size. This early secret will get you many supplies and weapons, but will also spawn a lot of pickups, enforcers, and even an assault commander. That's 13 monsters just for one sequence. Step on the building ledge below for a hid software Easter egg.
I ain't afraid of no quake.
Time to go to the alien abortion clinic and whoa, you all should be cited for harassment, big cops. With night vision goggles, or a poor port that breaks the lighting, you'll be told to look under the knife. Your reward is atomic health. Once you take the elevator all the way up, the stakes will get higher. Lots of monsters will spawn around the rooftop area, including a commander on top of your head. Rude. Just like in Fusion Station, the way forward is all the way down. Jump on the destroyed towers to get inside the other building in the distance. But sadly, that's about where the fun ends with this level. The final building does not bring forth anything that shall say, here's where my level ends and it's gonna be an awesome end. There's a timid battle inside whichever office this is. A bunch of monsters spawn outside, but they can be easily ignored. So all that remains is to take the secret passage inside this liquor room, to take the teleporter leading to your own personal helicopter. Remember when Duke Nukem used to actually mean something as a person? It's easy to be overwhelmed at times in this level due to the heavy monster spawns, which, shall I remind you, appear on every difficulty level, but while the intro is rather cool, Heli Rumble still lacks something to remember it by, other than it sure loves to spawn a lot of monsters. Rating 6, difficulty 6.
Damn, that's the second time those alien bastards shot up my ride.
E3L5, movie set. Duke, I think you have bad luck when it comes to vehicles. Ignore the level and immediately turn back for a shotgun and empty it on the many pickups and enforcers in the security booth. After defeating the monsters near the seal subway entrance, activate the rightmost computer and check the phone for a motherload of health. You'll need it. Outside there are pipe bombs and a secret freezer behind the Lunar Apocalypse movie poster, but you'll probably burn most of these supplies killing the drones and assault commanders spawning in, leaving you with close to nothing. I had to kick this assault commander to death to make sure I have ammo left. This level is brutal to pistol start, and you will need the secret devastator in the boxes to turn the tide in your favor. From here on out, you can easily storm this level by blowing everything up and enjoying the cheesy charm of this B-movie set. I get my own chopper, my own burger place, and yet I only deserve a B movie for saving the moon? This level is really adorable in the look department, but combat is weak once you've cleared the 2 movie buildings. Once you get on the spaceship set, jump through the earth for yet another fake wall secret. Activating the subway gate that leads to the exit will spawn a lesser battle lord, but you'll have an answer for him by then. But don't go in the exit, go back to the lunar set and activate the sideways sign to open the secret level, if you really want it. Rating 7 out of 10, difficulty 5 out of 10. E3 Hell 10, Teardrops. It took us a while, but here's the first level of this game that I genuinely hate. It's another Duke match level, but this level throws all principle of accommodating single player out of the window. This map is just a 4-sided square with each side leading to some square haphazard arena where every texture is the same and everything looks ugly. Each arena has an upward chute that drops you inside the arena and 3 chutes that drop you inside a new arena. The battlefields include Lunar Base, Boring Brick Temple of the Doom Women, Featureless Mountain, and Lava-Drenched Alien Mini Base. This map's 4 secrets all line the corners of the main hub to get some guns and ammo. The moon base only offers lizard troopers, the temple has hags, slime, and commanders, but don't let the women die. Their deaths will make a lesser battle lord spawn. The mountain is an octobranch smorgasbord, and the lava base has more commanders and a lesser battle lord inside the exit room. Do you need to go inside all these arenas now? The answer is no. You can just take a left at the beginning of the map, go in the alien base, and push the exit button without being mowed to death by the battle lord. The 3D realm record time for this level is 10 seconds, by the way. This map is silly and not in a good, fun way. Rating 2, difficulty 2. E3L 6, Rapid Transit. I was worried that episode 3 was falling apart, but thankfully this metro system is here to pick up the slack and bring some excitement back to the chapter. Soundtrack by yet another hallmark Lee Jackson tune, Gotham. This level shows the wonder of the build engine with these completely functional train cars that circle around the whole map. I always loved riding these as a kid, and the second best thing was to open the build editor to make your own ridiculous subway cart pathing. Yes, I made Duke maps, I lost them all, and they all will have scored a 1 out of 10. You know what's number 1 for this game? This vending machine. Really cool build usage here. While riding the subway is good, don't miss this glowy compartment between station 1 and 2 for a devastator, and shoot the crack wall for more goodies. Once you arrive to the second station, it might be tempting to blow up all these pickups, but don't. You must hoard all of this explosive ammo you're finding for later. Instead, send a rocket up to these many enforcers in this alcove as you do this daring jump up there for the key to the second station. Now your troubles may begin for real. Upon opening the station, there will be lots of big cups. Again, don't use explosives other than pipe bombs and get these secret rockets. Why? You need them for him and his commander buddy. That works too. Now the whole station is safe. Okay, this is real low. The other secret is rather obscure with night vision goggles that you can see bloody footprints leading to this wall you can open up, and the freezer ammo is a measly reward given the situation. Brace the subway tracks one last time to open this door and... oh boy, here we go again! And here I am with nothing to take care of this jerk. Or do we? There is a shrinker in the pool right beside this that will delete the lesser battle lord, but I missed it on this run. Oh well. And here's the devastator ammo we just used, right behind this last secret. The spawn-in battle lord in the subway station is a cheap shot, but episode 3 finally has a level to remember, and mostly for good reasons. Rating 8, difficulty 7, E3L 7, Fahrenheit. I always found the music for this level to be super amped up for no good reason, given the general setting of this level, which is a mixture of storage facility, firefighter building, and radio station. This all should have been called Revenge of the Drone, and without knowledge of the door trick, they will make your life a living hell. The boxy environment makes it very easy for them to sneak upon you, otherwise this level goes through many themes without setting on any, which gives the level a scatterbrained feel that mostly works against it. The only thing at any given moment I will remember about this level is this.
This is KTIT, K-Tit, playing the best tunes in town.
Everything about this place looks fine. It's a good looking level, but I find it has a hard time grabbing my attention. The early shrinker makes all non-drone enemies a piece of cake. If you want more supplies, the early building is a pair of secret. A freeze thrower in the picture, and a portable medkit by smashing the bottle case. Save one explosive to enter the fire department, otherwise you may soft-log the map because this is mandatory. Once you get the yellow key, you're mostly in the clear. Don't miss the secret curtain in the KTIT studio and get the red key card behind this door, which counts as a secret? The final hurdle is a mean one. These lesser battle lords don't give you much real estate to tangle with. Here, I just got really lucky. This level doesn't really grab me and the difficulty is mostly drone driven. Rating 5, difficulty 7. E3L8, Hotel Hell. This is the penultimate level of the game and yet it's just a hotel? Well, it's not any hotel. This level carries a mean streak from the beginning to the end. The intro, and shall I say about the whole level, loves to spawn monsters around no matter what you do, so watch yourself. Those dual battle lords at the reception desk might seem menacing, but you can get one battle lord to shoot the other one to death, and you can blow up the other one. Go outside in a nearby street to make this neighboring building vacant and get a keycard. The first floor of the hotel was a little on the plain side, but take the stairs, or the elevator, upwards to get to the most interesting part of the hotel. With 2 rooms, the bar, an aquarium, a swimming pool with a battle lord lifeguard more interested to kill you, and enough fire extinguishers to blow the whole walls away. The streets outside become more threatening with the apparition of yet another lesser battle lord. Progress in this part of the level becomes a bit less obvious, so it's time to check out the place in its entirety. Open the wine cabinet for the first secret, and go into the wood panel to take a dive in the exotic shark aquarium for the other. The pool is also linked to the toilet, so remind me to never go for a swim here. From the swimming pool area, you get to stare at the building where your adventure started, but the window's opening will be your key out of here. But wait, we're still missing a secret. Waterfall secret, you make every game out there better. We get one more Easter egg for the road, and check behind the tree for the secret level. This level has a nice sense of dynamics, it knows when to pile on the action scenes, and there's enough things to do to make the hotel feel like an actual place. As it is, it's a fine way to set up the end of the original game. Rating 8, difficulty 6. E3 Hell 11, Freeway. What's this? A secret level that actually plays like a regular level! We haven't seen that since episode 1. Well, it barely looks like a freeway, but where we're going, there's still plenty of roads. It's a good level, too. I have no real clue what any of the buildings you get into do, but it's a secret level, and we don't really need an answer at this point. Once you have any explosive, go back to the beginning for this atomic health and RPG ammo inside the crack wall. Once you get in the freeway area, things get rather intense. You've never fought this many pickups in one single area before, so be nimble on your feet. Don't think you are safe by going to the other side. It's packing with enforcers. When things get quieter, open this window that look a little off for a secret freeze thrower. And get ready to go on the highway? If you've been thorough in your exploration, you shouldn't have to worry about health, since there's another medkit next to this lesser battle lord. And once you get the secret shrinker, the other battle lords waiting ahead will be a cinch. The collapsed building you can jump into is pretty cool and contains a jetpack, although the teleport effect that room over room can cause in this game make the flight upward looks bizarre. Once you get in this building... Good thing we got a shrinker. But get this devastator ammo and blow up the door for a chain gun cannon if the enforcer didn't drop any. The final building makes no practical sense, but there's a Terminator Easter egg to appreciate. Afterward, get ready to terminate the Enforcer behind this fake wall and those behind this door. One final trap to be wary of, the exploding police car full of big cops. The end of the level almost feels accidental. The final key leads to a dead end, but blowing up the fire extinguisher will open up an alcove with the self-destruct button. Oh well, this is still the best secret level right after a launch facility. It's rather short, but it has some substance and mood to it. Rating 7, difficulty 6. Etriel 9, Stadium. It's the end of the game as we know it. And it's really bad. It's a minimalist, no frills, no substance boss arena where you must fight the Cycloid Emperor. And you know what the harder difficulties do with this stage? Add a few lizard troopers. That's going to be harder for sure. The only difficulty of this level is to gather ammo and weapon without getting blown up by the Emperor, and his aim is so erratic that you'll never really know if a missile is coming for you or not. Also, make sure these cheerleaders don't get caught in the crossfire. They will spawn assault commanders upon death. If you want more supplies, shoot the Duff Beer blimp in the sky for an avalanche of supplies. Get it? There's really nothing else to say. Cycloid Emperor is not a super interesting boss, and the fact he is the entire level doesn't make it fare any better. This is the worst level of the game. Rating 1. Difficulty 4. E4L1. It's impossible. It's time to go back to a magical moment. A time where you could say the name Randy Pitchford without going. Because let's be fair here, this level is actually mostly great. Riding off the coattail of the first Mission Impossible movie, this level is overflowing with gags and references to the movie.
This tape will self-destruct in 1 second.
And of course, that particular scene from the movie. If you have no jetpack, good luck not triggering the touch plate alarm, but that's okay, because you're Duke Nukem, not Tom Cruise. For being a level 1, it's surprisingly open-ended with lots of entrances and secrets to pilfer. Players with a sharp eye will be able to get every weapon in the game in this level, as well as unraveling this possible genesis of the Randy greasiness with this weather forecast for the easily distracted. The endprint in the freezer is good to score a shrinker, then in the blue key room, flick a computer to get a pair of secrets, which include a RPG and a jetpack. Whenever you're ready to destroy, go in the vent to the iconic computer room, but upon blowing up the vent exit, get out of the way if you don't want to explode with it. Once down there... Okay, I gotta call it here. This is crap. Episode 4 loves combination switch puzzles, and this level establishes this fact from the get-go, with not 1, not 2, but 3 combination puzzles, and the last one requires you to gun down the switches. Clearly that guy was up to no good from the beginning. Before using that phone to get to the end, there's one final reference I don't get in the vent. Activate this cart in order to get some supplies and go behind the door for a Devastator. After blowing up this hall, you get to see one of the episode's new enemies, the Protector Drone. They can be shrunk, they have a shrinking beam attack that's thankfully very telegraphed, otherwise they run and jump all around to claw your face. They're almost as durable as an assault commander, so they don't go down easy. This fight will teach you how to deal with them in the environment where they thrive the most, aka tight corridors. So yeah, Randy did a good job. What the heck, man? Rating 8, difficulty 6. E4L2, Duke Burger. With Duke Nukem Forever out, it's easy to forget that Duke actually had to fight to get his public image out in the wild. You only get your burger place after you save Earth from the aliens. And then it turns out they're serving dogs to customer. Maybe Duke Nukem deserves to be forgotten. Just a hunch here. The outside area is rough without proper weaponry. There are too many flying pickups to gun down with just 96 pistol rounds. And then you face your first big tanks. These are the toughest non-boss enemies in the game, being able to take 2 rockets head-on and yet survive. Thank goodness they have a self-destruct button in the back you can push. This is not listed in the manual, by the way. If anything, the description for the pig tank is really not useful in the slightest. Try to order something to get a Beavis and Butthead joke, the key to the front door, and a shrinker. Once inside, you get the wonders of an all-American diner about to open. A freeze thrower under the table, garbage bins are full, and the food is inedible. If dead pig cops won't drop a shotgun, you'll have to improvise with other weapons because you won't find a shotgun or a chain gun for a while. Think smaller. Now that's the kind of puzzle this game needs. More of this and less combination puzzles, please. Once you get in the kitchen, spot the counter where there's worms for yet another Beavis and Butthead reference, then get ready for a stupid jump for a secret. Get on the counter and jump where the wall recedes for a random fake wall secret. You're finally good to use the expander. It's not super powerful, but the splash damage from enemies exploding can do mass damage, especially with weaker mobs. The meat manufacturing plant is scary with all these crushers, but brave him for a devastator. Once the dark secret of Duke Burger has been revealed, hit the light switch for a secret RPG. Oh, hey, it's Crappy Zew! Yep, you're in the Society of Preparation for the Cannon Burger. This is all really stupid, but it fits perfectly in the seedy world of Duke Nukem. Watch out where you're around your heroes, they will always do something stupid in the end.
I love the Team 17 subforum because it's one of wonderful things.
The security panel near the end is a nice touch, showing what the next level is going to be like. All in all, Duke Burger is a great map. It's small, but not lacking in detail, humor, and encounters. A model map with few peers that can match it. Rating 9, difficulty 6. E4L3, shopping bag. This grocery store team level knows immediately what the customer wants. Lots of explosion. It also knows what the customer doesn't want and yet supplies it anyway. A lot of pig tanks and combination switch puzzles. And hey, make way for the cheesy bit crush market music. You can shoot the speakers in the ceiling to kill the sound, but I feel that it takes away part of this level's essence. It just doesn't work without the bad music, and then the in-game music feels too serious for the map. Blood will do a better job replicating that vintage shopping feeling in Mall of the Dead. There's some nice fights going on in this level, but it also loves to do boneheaded moves like shoving a pig tank in a hallway barely wider than it. I also think about the security measure a lot. Having the master switch that shuts down or opens the store in the ceiling must be the most impractical thing ever. Get some practice blowing up tanks from behind in this map. It saves on ammo big time. Sightseeing in this level is fun and worthwhile. The level does a great job at emulating a grocery store with its meat counter, the offices, the lanes, registers, and so on. But this is a map that loves to kill its momentum often with unnecessary switch puzzles. The one in the office is the most inventive of the bunch, and it's more of a dexterity puzzle, which is more fun than randomly pushing button. The last switch puzzle is the worst. Go into the slime to make a switch temporarily pop up, then shoot it to get this 4-position lever. You must use it to stop the 4 crushers, but you can't quite see the crushers go when focusing on the switch, which slows things down even more. To me, this level concept is great, but not executed as well as it could have been. Rating 7, difficulty 7. E4L4, Babeland. For a level called Babeland, it surprisingly has very few babes. Instead, make way for the annoying not Mickey Mouse animatronics. This is supposed to be a macho rendition of Disneyland, where you do manly things like ride in the D-cups, shoot targets to get teddy bear, watch Itchy and Scratchy while you wait on lines, and ride the incredibly unsafe Babes of the Caribbean attraction, which is soaked with toxic goop everywhere. You never quite feel well equipped enough for most of the action seen in this level, as the good weapons all are tucked rather deep in the level. The one saving grace of the D-Cup is that the pistol's auto-aim can take care of everything really well. Whoops, one of the tits sunk in the water. Go get the med kit inside of it. The bad news is that once you get the first key, there is almost nowhere to go but down. Do some precarious jumps in the main hub for a switch puzzle! And your reward for solving it? A target shooting switch puzzles! I hate that it took me over 25 years to understand how this puzzle works. The way to solve this is to have the second and fourth target in the shot state at the same time. Doing so will get you the secret red card, but don't forget the RPG behind the targets. The path to the final ride involves lots of walking, protector drones and pickups, and then the final ride is very underwhelming. It's like riding a very slow and boring metro system with no stop. And it's not like the little vignettes of the ride have much to them. Plus they're all animatronics. Once you get the boots, go off the beaten path into acid to reach the pirate ship. Watch for the cannons. If you shoot them, they will shoot back at you. You don't need the extra attention with a battle lord on the loose. Get the supplies under the sludge to fight them off, board the ship, and then shrink the second battle lord that spawned in the base nearby. With a jetpack, fly somewhere in the background for the worst fake wall secret of the game, all for a measly atomic health. Once you're inside... Another switch puzzle! You fucking ass! Okay, I solve it. The rest of the level is just tiny hallways with protector drone. Boring. Just like this whole level. Congratulations, we have found the worst level of the regular level rotation that is in Stadium. The concept misfires in about every way, and only a few of the side gags work. A big old dud. Rating 4, difficulty 6. E4L5, Pig's Tea. Now this is more like it. Duke Nukem 3D finally goes back to Reach for a darker mood as we visit the Levelord. The intro is especially inspired, with the car skidding out of control, blowing a hole in the building, and all hell goes loose as the pickup just starts shooting blindly into each other from a distance out of panic. The pig tanks at the beginning aren't gonna panic though, so blow them up the smart and efficient way, using the atomic health secret to patch yourself up if necessary. Everything feels run down and out of commission, which makes it feel like you're trespassing in this police station, even though nothing really occupies it per se. Nothing shall occupy it, but enough griminess. Duke has 100% the time to Hulk up his butt. When you get underground, you'll find a jetpack. Fly up the skyscraper at the start around where you can see graffiti for a better fake wall secret. The path ahead might confuse some because the blue key doesn't do anything in the main hallway except for this die-hard Easter egg, which also has a secret behind the bookshelf. Go all the way underground in the prison cell for the next card. Your parole is expired, you damn eggs! Of course, the chief of police is an assault commander, and he's keeping health and beer behind his painting. The courtroom ups the drama more, with Judge Battlelord presiding the proceedings, and taking over the judge spot opens a pig tank closet. The hung jury apparently is Randy's sole contribution to this map, despite him getting full credit for the map back when the Atomic Edition came out. This level is essentially all Levelord. You can dodge the Randy contribution anyway by opening the rear portrait. We're heading to Episode 4's only secret level. Pig's Tea is a level with lots of personality and very fun to play the boot. Duke says it best when the level starts.
I'll be back.
Yes, you will be back to this level at some point, because it's great stuff. Rating 8, difficulty 6. E4L11, Area 51. We meet again, Randy. And of course, I can't really say any bad things about this level, because it's likely Episode 4's best. We're investigating a forbidden government installation that the aliens took over, and it's got everything. Action, exploration, pushing on things you shouldn't push, the works. The fight in front of the Area 51 entrance is almost a bit of a puzzle by itself on a pistol start, because your weaponry sure is limited to deal with this many enemies in Big Tank. An early trip in the base through this vent will get you these buttons engraved on the chair. Keep these in mind. Besides, the level will make it its job to shove these buttons in your eyes and brain. Check this weird symbol on the wall for an atomic elf secret nearby, and activating the computer will get you a non-secret portable medkit, right in time for the only questionable part of the level, this elevator. You gotta do a trust fall, and failure to do it correctly will result in death. Upon reaching the bowels of the base, the more exotic species of alien will come out of the woodworks and start attacking. The key is a little awkward to get. Press the switch and step on the platform it reveals to open the drawer with the key. There are many sites regarding Roswell and the aliens throughout the whole level, such as this UFO in Groom Lake. But don't miss this RPG in the teleporter nearby. The crane part is superfluous to the level, but it houses a shrinker and this passage inside the alien spaceship for more health. Once you're back in this portion of the base, use the jetpack to reach the secret alcove up there. The final Battle Lord can be a doozy if you forgot the shrinker, but now's the time for your final exam. It's the biggest Switch puzzle yet, but the answer was plastered everywhere throughout the level. Once solved, you can be true to your name by launching nukes. Who knows where they're headed? The aliens? Duke Burger? That's a story for another day. As a secret level, Area 51 is a triumph. It's quirky, full of action, weirdness, and a great sense of adventure. And surprisingly grace-free. Rating 9, difficulty 7. E4L6, going postal. A post office is the last place I would have expected Duke Nukem to tackle, but the amount of mileage they got out of this concept is surprising. Can you bear getting the shotgun in there? Yeah, this is a bad joke. But enough about me, it's time to go postal. This level has a lot of side gags, whether they're lighthearted like that Simpsons joke, or dark, like the Postal Rifle Association, who are dedicated to hunting their greatest enemy, dogs. Hey now, there's no bad dogs, only bad owners. Still, shoot the target on the dog posters for more supplies and blow up the cage for more. Your next stop in this adventure is this giant mail conveyor room. Who knows why it's shaped the way it is and what purpose it serves, but check out this elusive fake wall secret. I still always get a kick crawling into things that I'm not supposed to be into, and the fighting inside this warehouse is fun. The best part about this conveyor is it goes nowhere. It's just an endless loop, so your American Postal Service doesn't actually deliver anything ever. Oh, now I sound like a foreign man. Oh, your American Postal Service. Okay. Once you leave the building, it's time for the level itself to go postal. First battle is near the standing truck over there, and these mini protector drones. And finally, the most intense set piece in the entire game. The barricade fight. Stepping inside will spawn 11 monsters, but I swear there are way more than that. There's an army of lizards, big cup, enforcers, and pig tanks. The enforcers are the biggest danger. They can easily jump over your barricade and ambush you. The pig tanks are a close second. If they get to the barricade, they can turn you into Swiss cheese. Use these two buttons to spawn more wicked explosions out of these cannons to help you out. As long as you get the shrinker, the two lesser battle lords rounding out the spontaneous apparition should be all news quick. Who would have thought that Duke's most explosive outing would be the post office? Not this guy, but episode 4 is on a roll right now, and it can be stopped. Rating 8, difficulty 8. E4L7, XXX Stacy. Okay, maybe episode 4 can be stopped. In the middle of a string of great to excellent levels lie this completely forgettable stage. Just like Shrapnel City's Fahrenheit, it can't commit to a single theme, appears entirely disjointed, and doesn't offer much in the way of fun things to do. The only interesting part is the porno studio at the beginning, and even then there's only 2 rooms in which anything interesting happens.
My kind of party. Wish I had time.
I have no idea why there's a toxic waste pit peppered with shrinker rays. That feels completely unnecessary as you can easily jump over it. The Funny Boner is a great name for a comedy club, so let's see what jokes Duke have been cooking. I think we can do better.
What's the difference between an alien and a moron? None. They're both an inspiration for birth control. Thank you. I'll be here until the end of this video.
Once you leave the club, there's a window high above. It might seem impossible to reach without a jetpack, but inventive steroid use saves the day again. There's a mad bomber living above. He was likely driven mad by the comedy club and Duke's joke. And finally, the level turns into a nondescript industrial zone. Plenty of drones, some octobrain, raise the water, oh no, there's shark in the warehouse just leads into this parking lot with big tanks in the exit. All in all, this is a level that exists and I have nothing to say about it. Rating 5, difficulty 5. E4L8, Critical Mass. This level feels like the most heartbreaking swing and a miss in the entire episode. The music is ominous, the setting is impeccable, dread levels are at their max, but sadly, the level is really boring combat-wise. Not that you'd guess it early on. 2 big tanks wait right at the start, and all you get is a pistol and some pipe bombs. Duck inside the warehouse of this nuclear plant to load up on supply and seize the opposition awaiting inside. It won't take long for catastrophe to occur. Not gonna lie, the beginning of this level is intense. With all of these explosions, this room slowly caving in, and this bastard of a secret opening in the corner, mere moments before the room fully crumbles. You need to be either really lucky or happen to know the pattern of these explosions in order to make your move. And there we go! You found Sector 7G! And all you get for the scares and atomic health. Dope! Things don't get any more relaxed afterward. Another death trap! Amidst all the octobrain, press the underwater switch and leave the water before you get crushed sideways. Operate the computer for a secret medkit. Very useful if you decided to check out the Sector 7G. From there on, the level sadly falls apart. It's a series of labored ambushes with nothing but drone protectors on the prowl, and things won't get any better or more interesting when you get in the nuclear plant itself. You get 3 keys in a single hallway full of locked doors that lead to the next one unceremoniously. The first key is the worst one. It's a switch puzzle. By now, you have entirely forgotten the hectic start of the level and the premise feels flat. The reactor room does succeed in reigniting a spark in this stage. Activate the emergency override under the toxic waste, thus sending the power plant in imminent meltdown mode. Now we're Nuke Nukem. There is also a shrinker up there, but sadly this level has no jetpack. No 100% secret for me. After the fight in the boss office, notice the displays went from nominal to meltdown. Amid the incessant earthquakes, the exit door just slightly opens up, and then... This is my favorite ending of any Duke Nukem level. Not only you blew up everything, but it also previews the next stage, with this dark freighter in the distance. I'm really conflicted about this level. The ingredients are mostly there to make a great level, but sadly, the combat sucks. More so than in the Abyss. Rating 7, difficulty 4. E4Hell 9, Derelict. The penultimate level of episode 4 doesn't seem like much at first, but it is more than the sum of its parts. This freighter boat is massive and represents quite the endurance round. Starting this level on a pistol start feels even more ominous, because it feels like you're about to take on the root of all evil with nothing but a pea shooter. Ignore the undersea life. You don't have the means to kill any of them at the start, and peep at this giant tube, which is the passage to the Queen's underground lair. You can get a RPG on the seabed and swim inside the middle of the ship for an early chain gun. Again, ignore the drones. You can't afford to kill those now. Besides, this level will spawn so many enemies you'll get 100% kill even though you kept all these monsters alive. Once you're ready, use the crane to get on board, but beware the lightning strikes. You'll also be a sitting duck for lizards, turrets, and flying pickups, so try to time your ascent well. Your goal is to reach the windows of the ship, but the enemies know you'll be going there. If you find the expander, this is actually a great time for it because these rooms have zillions of lizard troopers. Save explosives for protector drones and the assault commanders, and save a few rockets for this nasty turret ambush. The TV top counts as a secret, but all it does is open up a shotgun alcove and hide a chain gun. Inside the hold, many drones and a battle lord wait for your arrival, so stay on your guard. This encounter can go bad due to the immunity of the drones to the shrinker. Once you get to the crane area, there are many drones to contend with. I should have used the Devastator, but paranoia kicked in. My bad. These boxes hide another RPG and Assault Commander, and don't forget to get these boots. You need them for the Super Lava, which will melt your boots and your life really fast. You can also use steroids for that part if you feel uneasy. Bust the barrels open to clear the way to safe ground. Your final challenge will be a bunch of Octobrains, eggs, and a Battle Lord. Do what must be done, although I like the pipe bombs to clear away the zillion of eggs. And there we go, you're finally in the tube leading to the Queen's Lair. This level might lack a proper memorable set piece to cement it well in your history, but the level concept was a huge overrun freighter ship, and this is exactly what you get. It's enormous, yet laser focused, painstakingly well detailed, and represent episodes 4 Darkest Tower, delivered exactly when it counts. Rating 8, difficulty 8. E4L10, the Queen. There we go, the grease finally appears. Randy couldn't afford to be totally flawless. The final level of the episode was designed specifically for a multiplayer mode called Duke Tag. What is Duke Tag? It's essentially capture the flag. So the following can be expected concerning the level. It's going to be symmetrical, it will not work well in single player mode, and said symmetry will make the level drag ass in its second half because the enemy configurations in both halves are exactly the same. It's also got switch puzzles, but thankfully they only involve 3 buttons. Anyway, secrets in this level are boring. 4 of them are on these out of reach pillars in the central area. Fly up there with a jetpack if you have one, otherwise recruit an enforcer and jump on its head to get extra height. 2 of them will be fake wall at the back of each twin structure you must visit. They will also allow you to get the jump on the minions inside each building. The final secret will be found during the 11th tower in an air pocket while facing the final boss. The fighting in this level doesn't feel fluid when the monsters decide to get lost inside the water, especially the drones inside these tiny cages. Make sure you get the scuba gear, otherwise you won't last during the switch pushing trials underwater. The first one has you dodge crushers, the other one has you slither through the slowest moving gears in existence. Like in Toxic Dump, look for the missing colored cog on the gears. Both sides of the level cram a lesser Battle Lord in the tiniest room possible. Rushing them head-on is heavily discouraged. Oh, and there's no shrinker in this level, so no easy victory for you. Once you open the gate and got the yellow key, you can finally face the alien queen. Underwater. This boss has a ton of health, but the fight is very underwhelming. She has a lightning zap attack that she sometimes uses, otherwise she gives birth to protector drones who only serve to get in your rocket's way. In the end, shoot the boss until it dies. This is the second best boss level in the game so far, but that doesn't mean much. This should have been the secret level, not the episode ender. Rating 5, difficulty 8.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
E5L1, High Times. One thing is sure, the original developers were not feeling too old for this shit. High Times opened things up on an impressive looking matter. Build has never depicted such nice cityscapes before. The architecture itself is basic, but the new textures bring the city to life. The action doesn't waste time either. The city streets are full of recon vehicles, pig cops, and lizards. Make sure you pilfer the content of the garbage cans for important shotgun ammo and interact around this empty area for a secret lift that leads to a RPG. The meats and potatoes of this level is this cannabis shop, where you can marvel at the unnecessary detail the World Tour Edition had. This random lighting makes my eye bleed. Instead, go play it in Duke 32 and go to this vent for an atomic health. Then suit up with this cash register secret. The fight in the hydroponics farm is more spicy with explosive, but yours truly was an airhead and forgot to go get it. Go into a VIP lounge in order to get a shot of, well, coffee.
Whoa, that's some good coffee.
And thus begins the drug trip part of the level. So when Duke High starts imagining aliens teleporting from everywhere and non-Euclidean architecture, it's Lunatic Fringe all over again.
It's like deja vu all over again.
Shut up, Duke. I said it first. This fight around the 720-degree wide waterfall is a serious wake-up call. This episode is not going to be easy. 2 lesser battle lords spawn, many troops teleport from outside the walls, and you encounter the Firefly troopers. These are severely annoying and should be nuked on sight. Their flamethrower can deal debilitating damage that can be mitigated by diving in water or slime, plus they love to evade your attacks by randomly shrinking and growing big again. Also, they explode on death, but they offer a long tail for this final attack. If you want a Devastator, dive in the slime portion of the courtyard. Your goal is to find one opening in the waterfall, then circle around until you find the exit.
Trippy. Next time I have coffee, I better add some cream and sugar.
So yeah, Duke is back. He sounds old and raspy, but the level design and the new music by Lee Jackson lead off episode 5 to a strong start. Rating 8, difficulty 7. E5L2, Red Ruckus.
I'm back in the USSR, baby.
This level just peeves me off for absolutely no good reason. I just find the skybox depressing looking. Is good weather illegal in Russia? Please let me know. Otherwise, we have yet another convincing built cityscape, which makes way for a grocery store, a bomb shelter buried inside the grocery store, and finally, the command room where we launch the big nukes. I like that this episode so far is willing to tell stories with its level. I mean, we hop from one team to another, which normally kinda annoys me, but at least here, it feels like the level is building up towards something. It's a constant escalation of the odds you have to go against. Don't be afraid to jump in horizontal grates and shoot the hell out of fridges, and go into the apartment building for the requisite bad joke.
I wonder if the Siskova sisters still live here. Natasha and Nastia.
Also, man, TV's bad in Russia. All they have is the Duke Wanted Dead channel going 24/7. Like Duke was somehow still relevant after all these years. There's action non-stop in this level and the body count is towering. But the level throws a curveball in the shelter with the apparition of lesser overlords and a new weapon, the Incinerator. This weapon is busted. Ammo is plentiful, flaming enemies are unable to attack you, and it one-shots pig cops and enforcers with enough patience. As for Overlord, their attack is too slow to truly be a concern, Devastator them away. The final encounter is a little bit more of a doozy. The bomb room houses a lesser Battle Lord and Overlord, plus a full-size Overlord. Episode 5 will make it an habit to end every level with a big boss battle, and this might be one of the most interesting fights, especially without a shrinker to cheese the lesser minions. Don't look for it, you won't find any until level 4. It doesn't quite reach the highs of High Times, but it's another quality level. Rating 7, difficulty 8. E5L3, Bloody Hill. Episode 5 has stuck to a formula so far for its levels, and this is about where I feel the formula gets old. Or maybe it's not executed well. First of all, we're stuck in the UK, which means the weather is gonna be yuck. Finally, as much as the cityscapes continue to be nice, they sadly offer very little in interaction, and once the fighting outside dies, so does this map. Also, this level tries to trick you with a blue access card that does nothing. It only allows access to the actor's lounge where the acting aliens and a suit of armor await. Go in the Doctor Who phone booth to get access to the street of London, where the biggest and most interesting fight of the level awaits. There are monsters in every corner, plus a lesser Battle Lord, a lesser Overlord, and even a lesser Emperor. Or a Cycloid Prince. The Emperor in particular is dangerous because of the unpredictable nature of his rocket, so make his death a priority if he gets alerted. The keycard is easily missable in the street, and it leads inside what's supposed to be the London Tower, and oh boy, this puzzle bites. It looks so out of place, and it's easy as shit to just teleport to the highest number. The secrets also took a time warp to early 1992-1993. Just push random nondescript wall for secrets, or secret walls inside secret walls. This museum part just feels empty and a bit lame combat-wise, especially thanks to the incinerator, which will dispatch everything at slow, steady speed. There's also a secret elevator leading to crumpets on the roof and nothing else. I'm Duke Nukem, I eat burgers and shit, not crumpets. Once you fall inside the toilet, don't dive in the water tunnel yet. There's secret RPG ammo on the surface, and you'll need it. You surface inside the Westminster Palace and find out the British are ruled by the Cycloid Emperor. He's fully sized, so expect a longer fight. The easiest way to take him out is by hiding behind the columns and shoot him when he stops firing, which allows you to slow roll him to death. This level doesn't wow me. Part of it looked good and the fight outside is fun, but everything else feels flat. Rating 5, difficulty 7. E5L4, Mirage Barrage. Finally, a change in the formula. There's no cityscape to gawk at this time. You're caught in desert trenches of some foreboding Egyptian ruins, and this is one of the few times I feel sentry drone ambushes work well. The rest of the trenches feel a bit featureless since the opposition is mostly just lizards and egg. Are we just making them omelette? Things get better when you finally leave the trenches. There'll be more monster variety and you can get to the top of this pyramid for some atomic health, then go back down to ground level to meet an old rival.
Why so serious, Sam?
I still think Crow Team's joke about Duke Nukem Forever were better. The biggest complaint I have with this level is that the beginning does not feel well plotted out. Climb that giant pyramid to get a keycard, then go all the way back down to activate this device, then climb all the way back to where you first got the keycard. Inside the pyramid, things get better. Protector drones make their triumphant returns, and this environment suits them well. You'll be subjected to 3 trials: the fast crushers with a serving of fireflies, the ever-destructing wall with the whole list of memes, and a chamber of eggs and drones. The last one is lethal. If you fall in this pit while shrunk, you will assuredly get crushed. Then the switch you must press is also guarded by a drone that needs to be dealt with. The 5th element ambush would have been tough if the incinerator didn't exist. Then you make your way to the alien ship to shrink their battle lords and blow up their reactor. Secret exit is a little random and disappointing. Crawl in the wall in front of the end switch. The beginning needed a bit more excitement to it, but the pyramid part is strong enough to carry the whole map. This change of scenery was what this episode needed after the lackluster Bloody Hell. Rating 8, difficulty 7. E5L8, Prima Arena. Is this where they send Primo strategy guides to fight to the death with inaccurate information? Random digression time. I had the Donkey Kong Country 2 Prima guide, and this thing was worthless. For most of all, it didn't even tell you where the DKC coins were, and that's how yours truly as a kid stopped trusting guide. Digression over, back to Duke. We're now in ancient Rome into a gladiatorial arena, which is home to a big battle lord. By the time you encounter him, you won't have anything to fight him with if you pistol start. He's quite a problem, more so since the arena has so little cover. You'll want to gather all the supplies in the prep room, blow up that wall that I can't see the crack at all, and then rush underground as soon as you can, grabbing that atomic health on the way down. In the buried ruin and water tunnels, you can finally find the Devastator, RPG, and ammo to start building an arsenal, then unload it on the Lesser Overlord and his egg stash. Make sure you jump on this column to open this hidden explosives ammo. Using the key to Overlord guards, you can get to the red key and switch to spawn a lot of goodies in the arena. Now you can take on the Battle Lord. This level is not exactly the most memorable, although you'll remember for sure how annoying these flamethrower sounds are. But as a pistol start, it does serve as a fun puzzle and combat scenario, and the visuals sell the arena setting pretty well. Rating 7, difficulty 8. E5L5, Tour de Nukem. Too bad for us all, Duke does not get a chance to be the next Lance Armstrong and cheat at cycling. Now we're in France, which means it's time for stereotypical French sight gags. Bière de grande perruque. Warning, weird dog. It's also time for you to get your ass handed to you, because for what it's worth, this was the hardest level of the game to pistol start. You don't really lack weapons or ammo, but some of the encounters are absolutely ridiculous. Instead of being jumped by pig tanks upon crossing this barricade, get the upper hand against them by taking this vent, pipe bomb the nearby pickups, interact with this manly American movie poster, and then you can hold a siege against the alien army outside. Just mind your health. For some reason, I was always on the brink of death on this one. I never heard Duke complain so much about his health being low until now. Also, without even taking a look at the credit, I'll guess Levelord did this level judging by this goofy callback. Also, this pickup in the garbage can's a funny gag. They did it too in Red Ruckus, but I just remembered about it now, sue me. But yeah, the cityscape formula is once again used here, and I feel the level loses its visual identity once you go underground. Why are there Babeland assets in this market? I didn't like the D-Cup first time around. It won't be better in France. I think. The cavern area is really annoying to navigate with its precise jump and panic-inducing monster placement. If you fall down here, you get stuck and you can't leave. Okay, I guess you get access to this secret area with nothing in it as a consolation prize. The wide open cavern does not feature soft locks, but is still very annoying to go through, especially with a lesser overlord sniping you from afar with quick rockets. Don't mind the lesser emperor, he'll blow himself up to death by shooting the walls. I don't see what's French about this alien base, and once inside, it doesn't get better. The full-size Battle Lord fight doesn't offer much in the way of fun, since it can easily be cheesed with this cover here. Just make sure you delete the commanders first. This level offers the greatest challenge of the episode, and the sights in part 1 are charming enough, but the level identity becomes more and more fractured and anonymous as it advances. A missed opportunity. Rating 6, difficulty 10. E5L6, Golden Carnage.
Looks like San Francisco is a sanctuary for illegal aliens.
I hate that joke, because as the Benjanis taught us, but enough about that. This level is clearly the episode's showstopper. The fact that we're able to do this replica of the Golden Bridge under the build engine without any access to true 3D modeling is amazing. The gameplay suffers a bit as a consequence of the level being mostly a bridge, so a bunch of backtracking has to be done if you fall off. First of all, dive under the nearby subs, which all have appropriately zany names. One of them lets you launch a torpedo at the distant Battle Lord for an easy victory, the other is a replica of the Death Row submarine, portable medkit secret included. After grabbing the Shrinker expander, you launch a torpedo at the bridge itself to finally get on board. Once on the first suspension beam, get the secret RPG near the graffiti and atomic health. You need to cross the bridge at least once to get started. For some reason, this elevator won't be accessible unless you ride the boat on the other side of the bridge. and it sure is stuffed with a lot of baddies. The recon vehicles seem to have difficulties flying around the bridges at times. I also like the idea of the nuclear submarines having these tiny turrets as well as the USS Pentium.
By the way, don't play this level on a 486 processor.
The rest of the level has a little bit of everything, which helps with its penultimate status. Hordes of enemies, laser traps, and boss encounters. Even with starting weapons, this level is a challenge, but this lizard courtyard offers a nice respite. Blow up this wall to get some expander ammo, it'll be good in the end map. This staircase area is a good time for explosives to shine because Firefly troopers suck. Or maybe not. Eat my butt, troopers. Again? Eat my butt, troopers! The top of the building has lots of turrets. Auto-aim shines here. Oh, and some battle lords. Shrink him. The final battle is a giant omelet and lizard party with battle lord seasoning. I like the expander here. Compared to some final battle, this one is rather easy. At least it compensates with its scale. This level doesn't always play the best, and the bridge can lead to awkward moments, but the setting, sense of spectacle, and overall combat makes it the star of Episode 5. Rating 9, difficulty 8. E5L7, Hollywood Inferno. Really, game? This is a world tour, and yet we needed 2 levels in the US. We're gonna fight the final boss of the episode near the Hollywood letters, but first we must reach the top of the mountain. This level is just a straight line leading straight to the boss with impossible to miss secrets, but the severity of the encounters leading to it will slowly escalate. First there are many lizards, then the pig cops and enforcer arrive, and finally a lesser battle lord. The parking area shoves 2 lesser cycloid emperors behind a car. They'll seem very menacing until you realize they'll blow themselves up by shooting the car next to them. In the tunnel lies the ultimate challenge. No, not the boss, but 2 lesser overlords. The way they are spaced out essentially guarantees one of them will be able to shoot you down, so plan your assault well. Employees must not forget their devastator ammo and atomic health. And here's the final boss! No, not that big guy over there. It's the big cup recon vehicles. They're the only danger here. The cycloid incinerator only has a short-range flame attack, and yet doesn't know the range of his own weapon, so he looked like a buffoon trying to flame you from the other side of the arena. Once the pig cup are dead, just blast away at yet another disappointing end boss until he dies. Oh well, still better than Overlord and Stadium. Rating 5, difficulty 6. And that's it! That was every level of Duke Nukem 3D reviewed, or at least the episode that assuredly came in with about every copy of the game. We didn't review Duke It Out in DC, Duke Caribbean Life's a Beach, Duke Zone 2, or Nuclear Winter, or at least not yet. But this video was already too long as it is anyway. Now, you might have noticed no level got rated a 10 out of 10. Sadly for me, perfection is not something that exists. But we still have to crown a king level, as well as establish where every level fits on a scale. So let's take all of this and rank away, from worst to best. Stadium, Teardrops, Spin Cycle, Overlord, Babeland, XXX Stacy, Hollywood Inferno, Fahrenheit, The Queen, Lunatic Fridge, Bloody Mess, Occupied Territory, Incubator, Warp Factor, Toxic Dump, Tour de Nukem, LA Rumble, Flood Zone, Bankroll, Freeway, Movie Set, Spaceport, Shopping Bag, Tiberius Station, Prima Arena, Critical Mass, Red Ruckus, Launch Facility, Raw Meat, Fusion Station, Mirage Barrage, Rapid Transit, Red Light District, Hotel Hell, Death Row, Lunar Reactor, Derelict, Going Postal, High Times, It's Impossible, Pigsty, Golden Carnage, Hollywood Holocaust, Duke Burger, The Abyss, Area 51, Dark Side. I have no clue if this list is going to be controversial or not. I haven't really sought any level rankings before doing this. But if you disagree with my ranking, feel free to submit your own in the comments, or at the least, your best and worst levels. All I wanted with this video was to perhaps give you some insight on this game we all know and like. And maybe this will make you replay the game as well, who knows? Or maybe you're gonna go hog wild and also want to rank some things that are completely unrelated. So anyway, that was it for me. Have a good one.